You are Locked On Celtics Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Wow. Wow. All that needs to be said right now is the Celtics are down 2-0 to the New York Knicks in the NBA Eastern Conference semifinals. The Knicks did not lead until late in the fourth quarter. The Knicks hold on. Jayson Tatum, opportunity to win it, did not, as the Celtics lose game 2. And very similar to their Game 1 loss. We do welcome you to our latest Locked On Celtics postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime college basketball play-by-play announcer, national show host, ESPN Radio, satellite radio. Always respected Larry Bird's talent, but to this day, believe his black and white Converse the absolute worst basketball sneakers of all time. You're right where you need to be. You are locked on with our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, providing reaction to every Celtics playoff game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Celtics podcast feed, which you know is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. On our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, we're going to discuss Jayson Tatum. Going down the middle of the floor, took what the defense gave him, got the dunk to put the Celtics up 1 with 18.5 on the clock. Brunson fouled, hits 2 free throws, and that turned out to be the game. Great defense by the Knicks for the second straight game. On the Celtics' final possession results in a turnover, and the Celtics down 0-2 in the series go to New York for the next 2 games. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. Join the conversation watching live with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Hit that comment button and join the conversation. You can also hit me up on the X and follow as well at Lennox on Hoops. KP off the bench. Available, had a nice little stretch in the second half for the Celtics, but the Celtics just need a whole bunch of everything right now, down 2 games in this series. And for 94.5% of the people out there who thought this was going to be Celtics in 5, yeah, you are wrong. Celtics now need to get this series back to Boston for Game 5, if necessary right now, because the Knicks, if they hold serve and win 2 at home, Celtics season is over. That's what you're looking at. And you can't go to bed tonight, put your head on the pillow thinking, hey, I like this series coming back where the Celtics win the next 2 in New York. Now, it could happen, one of the best records in NBA playoff history on the road during the regular season, but everything for the regular season right now for the Celtics, you can really throw out the window. And right off the top, I mean, Brunson held in check, but Brunson down the stretch. You defend him for 36 minutes or so. You defend him for 3.5 quarters, and all of a sudden he just gets going. And Mikal Bridges got going in the fourth quarter. And when Bridges gets going on one end, he usually is getting going on the other end. But this is the thought I had as the Celtics missed 14 straight shots at one point in the fourth quarter. This is what I thought.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The Celtics are down 2-0 in this series. Tom Thibodeau has outcoached Joe Mazzulla, and it's not even close. Now, is it all in the lap of the head coach, Joe Mazzulla? No, it's not. Joe Mazzulla did not miss 14 straight shots in the fourth quarter. But the shot selection for the Celtics, you've got a lead, and you're continuously throwing up three-pointers. Yes, it's what they do. You know, played intramural basketball after I was done with the JV squad at Division III Brockport back in the 1990s. We didn't have a three-point line in intramurals. And my good friend in college, Jimmy Granozio, said to a kid one time, stop shooting threes. They don't count for 3. And the guy looks at him and says, that's my shot. The Celtics shot is a three-point shot. Mikal Bridges coming alive, 14 in the fourth quarter, and you thought, Mikal Bridges going inside that big dunk against White. That was actually in the third quarter, sorry. It was Anunoby in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, Bridges coming alive, 14 in the fourth, hit a 3-9-0 run, 8-point lead at that point. White missed on a 3. +8, under 5.5 to go. White fouled by Hart in transition after a Brunson miss. 2 free throws, up by 10. Up by 10, 86-76. Second chance for the Knicks on an offensive rebound. Kept the possession alive. Brunson knocked down a 3. The lead 7. Tatum missed on a 3. Hart hit a floater. 13-2 run at that point for the Knicks. 5-point game. Brown, guess what? Missed on a 3. Under 3 to go. Towns offensive rebound. Hit the shot, free throw, 1-point game. Brunson hit against Holiday. 19-2 run. Knicks first lead. Brown a miss. 12 straight misses. I already said 14 straight misses. White was fouled by Brunson with 1:15 to go. And then Brunson with a strong take and a finish, a 21-2 run. Tatum a couple of free throws. Celtics over 8 minutes without a field goal. Tatum went right down the middle. They had an idea out of the timeout. Hey, if they give it to you, go. The dunk and the 1-point lead. And then you had a foul, and you fouled Brunson. You knew the ball wasn't going to be out of his hands. But Joe Mazzulla right now, being now coached by Tom Thibodeau, and I think it's night and day. Now, you've got Tatum. You know, Tatum's not hitting shots. Tatum didn't have a real big first half in terms of scoring. And all of a sudden, Reggie Miller on TNT starts talking about, well, maybe it's the wrist. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But all of a sudden, that comes into the picture. 30-17. Knicks outscored the Celtics in the fourth quarter. Let's get to you. I don't know what to tell you. Horrible fourth quarter. The defense on Brunson, for a majority of the game, they held him in check until it became crunch time. And the top clutch player, and I'm tired of hearing it. Tired of hearing it. KP doesn't start the game. Cornette gave you some minutes. Horford, you might be running him into the ground. He's going to give you everything he can, but at this point in time, the Knicks are younger and they're more active. And Karl Anthony Towns, you got to figure out how to keep him off the boards. I mean, he had a jumper from like the top of the key, the old high school 3-point line. I think it was in the first half. No, it was in the second half. And he just had a terrific night. And I don't see how this changes in game 3. Now you have 2 full days. You have Thursday off, Friday off. But how are you going to rebound from this? You know, Kevin Millar has been on Nesson broadcast for the Red Sox during this Rangers series at Fenway over the last couple of games. And Millar, you know, back in 2004, don't let us win one. Well, right now, I don't know that the Knicks are going to let the Celtics win one. Let's get to your comments. I'll tell you what. Again, I said 94.5% of the experts out there saying this was going to be a cakewalk. Nothing's been easy so far in the playoffs for the Celtics, and I never said it was going to be. In fact, during the season, I said this is not going to be easy. It was kind of a cakewalk last year. You had things fall your way in a lot of different instances. But that fourth quarter, when you have the lead and they're on a run, you've got to get to the basket. You've got to figure out how to get to the basket. Tatum took a near corner 3, had all the time in the world. Never even dawned on him to drive on the baseline and go to the basket. Defender came out. Defender was even late. I mean, he had all the time in the world, and he still missed on the 3-pointer. I don't know how you make the adjustments, but they need to be made, and it's on the 5 on the floor. Fat Man Olympics. How do we keep choking leads? You miss 14 shots in a row, there's no adjustments, and you don't match their intensity. They were going after it, and the refs whistle to whistle, and it was a near end-to-end victory for the Celtics. That did not happen. The referees were consistent all night long. Lakers Nation, Knicks sweep Boston. That's not. Are you actually allowed to come into someone else's postcast on the Locked On Sports Network as a Lakers fan and do that? Lakers Nation is doing that right now. Knicks, broom, sweep, Boston. One take. Thanks a lot, Tatum. WTF. We know what that one means. Long live red. Smile with tears, I believe, emoji. One take. Lakers Nation. Where is this coming from? Aiden, I don't know why KP isn't playing down the stretch. All of a sudden, he's got an issue. difficulty breathing, catching his wind, different things, and it's no physical. It's an ailment. He's dealing with some sort of virus that it didn't look like it was over when he got back. He's playing pretty well, and now all this, it's not an ankle, it's not a knee, it's not a shoulder. It's this illness. You knew when he didn't start the game that something was up. And is there cause for concern right now with Kristaps Porzingis? Yeah, there is. There's also cause for concern for Jayson Tatum. Fat Man Olympics, the thing is, we are choking leads and losing by one possession. It's not like we have gotten blown out. No, you haven't, but it's certainly disturbing the way you've lost these two games. Brunson's bucket late in the fourth quarter, their first lead of the game. And you can't hold on. You had a great stretch in that third quarter. Anunoby called for the charge on the vicious dunk on White. White took it. Kevin Harlan, bravery and courage on the part of White. Hyperbole from Kevin Harlan, go figure. And then White had a basket at the other end to go up 11. Tatum had a bucket after a stop. And Tatum came alive in that third quarter. Brown hit a three, up by 14. I understand live and die by the three, but you can't die by the three in the fourth quarter like that. That's all. You just stood on the three-point line. You got looks, but you weren't knocking them down. And there's been a couple of games in the Orlando series, but overall, haven't shot at a very good percentage on the three-point line. The Celtics were up 12 going to the fourth quarter. Up by 12. This is playoff basketball. You're at home, and you can't close these two games out. 20-point lead in the third quarter in game one. And yeah, Mikal Bridges just came alive. But again, as I said, Tatum missing on a three, Brown missed on a three, White missed on a three. That was under 5.5 to go. You're up 8. All you need is a bucket on a possession. You keep missing threes. It's not a regular season game. You need to get inside. I mean, they give you the penetration. You could pull up and knock down a shot. Now, again, the Knicks defensively were terrific in the fourth quarter. And again, they were just more active across the board. But the Knicks, they were 50%. They were 12 of 24 overall, knocked down 3 threes in the fourth. The Celtics were 5 of 24 and 2 of 11 on the three-point line. They were 5 of 5 at the free throw line, but just not enough. Holiday, I think 8 of his 10 in the first half. You got 6 from Pritchard in the fourth quarter as he knocked down a couple of threes, but those were early on. White 0 for 3 in the fourth quarter. Brown 0 for 4. Tatum 1 for 5. Horford running out of gas perhaps, 1 for 6. And Porzingis had just 2 shot attempts. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be awfully hard to win this series. Hey, if we're talking about winning this series, it's going to be in Boston in a game 7. You're not winning 4 in a row. You're really not. You've got the next 2 in Boston, game 5, or next 2 in New York at Madison Square Garden. Game 5, you might be down 3-1. You're going to have to win 2 games in New York. Again, best record in the regular season, one of the best records in NBA history when it comes to road play. But right now, this team is showing you throw everything out the window from the regular season. You've lost 2 in a row. You were 19-2 and 1-0. 19-2 during the regular season after a loss, 1-0 in the playoffs so far after a loss. Throw that out the window. You could lose game 3, and you have 3 straight losses for the first time since last season. Long live Red with those emojis. One take wants Laker fans to leave. Aiden, I don't know why KP is not playing down the stretch. We hit that one. Michael, this team gave up on winning late in the third quarter. Tatum making boneheaded plays. JB turning it over. Yeah, how many times dribbling into the defender and losing the basketball? Putting the ball on the floor and just physical play and losing the basketball. Brown did that countless times, it seemed. Soul Man 2025, Jayson Tatum trying to act like Kobe too much. Ooh. Game 3, you got 2 days off. But Joe Mazzulla right now, I don't see how you can make an argument that he's not been outcoached in this series so far over the first 2 games by Tom Thibodeau, because it's pretty obvious right now. We'll hit into some of the numbers of the night, gave you some of the stats and stuff, but again, you could be down 3-0 in this series, and down 3-0, could this series really end on Monday in New York at Madison Square Garden with a sweep by the New York Knicks? Right now, it's on the table. Right now, it's on the table. That's worth repeating. Locked On Celtics postcast, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, your team every day. We are presented by Open Phone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had an urgent need, maybe for a plumber or a service provider. If the first person didn't answer, did you wait? Probably not. You moved on. That's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system to streamline and scale your customer service and customer communications, all from an app on your phone or on your computer. Open Phone lets you manage business calls and texts from a single app. The shared inbox feature is a game changer. You and your team can simply jump into any conversation instantly without missing a beat. And their AI agent handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss out on a customer. Open Phone is offering our listeners right now 20% off on your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Open Phone, again, offering our listeners, 20% off on their first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. Locked On Celtics postcast, talking about a miserable 1-point loss to the Knicks in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, also presented by Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivers on incredible results. Posting a job is free and simple, and within a day with multiple qualified candidates to choose from. Instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable, top-tier freelancers to scale any business and your business more efficiently. Visit Upwork.com and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com. Upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today. Kind of at a loss here. Back to your comments we go. A lot of people are shocked right now. The Knicks aren't, and give them credit. They came into Boston 0-4 during the regular season, finished with 51 wins during the regular season. They're 2 victories now away from the Eastern Conference Finals. The real Darrell checking in. And right there, Michael, painful. Yeah, it is painful right now because they're better than this. They really are. And I really do think they would have benefited by playing some more guys off the bench, trying to get some sort of spark. And you would have known Shireman, Kada, anyone else you want to think about, bringing them off the bench. If they, in the first minute, if they didn't provide a spark, they're right back on the bench. But the Knicks continue to play their guys big minutes, and they're just getting contributions. The real Darrell. The Knicks believe they can. Yeah, they do, 100%. Boston hopes they can win. They crumbled in the fourth quarter once again. Yeah. And there were times during the regular season where it was, you know what? This is, down the stretch. Won a couple of games late. But where's your go-to guy? And where's your go-to guy defending? I mean, Holiday defended against Brunson, still was able to hit on a shot from up top, just to the right of the top of the key. The real Darrell. The Knicks are smelling blood. And that broom against Boston, it's on the table. It's absolutely on the table. Michael, KP is melting down. Tatum and Brown are hurt and not playing right. Yeah, I mean, very well. We'll never know the severity of the injuries. You can, Brown, 20 points. Is he able to finish the way he would be at 85, 90%? I mean, is he at 85%? He's out there. You got to play. If you're out there and playing, those injuries go to the side. You've got to be able to produce. You've got to figure out a way. Cameron, just felt like they're not connected as a team. No passing the ball. It's all isolation basketball. We're not even – well, they are trying. But, yeah, the assists, that's always a big number. That was a big number all season long for me. The Celtics' final total, a lot of one-on-one. Final total on assists, 17. And they were in the teens against Orlando for the most part. 16 turnovers. Sloppy on both sides. Really was. I mean, times where you had, an empty possession on one end, you go to the other end, it's either a turnover or a bad shot. So it wasn't just one-sided in that instance of, turnovers. Well, you want to blame turnovers. Both teams turned over the ball. I think the biggest thing right now, Aiden checks on it, they're settling for three-pointers. They think they're going to shoot at the same percentage they did during the regular season. That's not happening. Derrick White's played very well in the first two games of this series. He's defended. He's gotten to loose balls. He's made shots. Well, right now I have on the rundown KC, concern for KP. There's concern for JT as well. You go down 0-3 in this series. You're down 0-2 right now. It'll be the first time all season where you've lost 3 straight games. I mean, you want to test the metal right now? That's where the Celtics are. You want to spend 5 minutes on cliches as to where they're at? Well, begin and stop with their backs are to the wall. This is adversity. And you've got the next 2 in New York. You've got Thursday off. You've got Friday off. And then game number 3. And this, I dropped it last night on the Red Sox postcast. It was a must-win for the Red Sox and the Celtics in game 2. 1 out of 2 doesn't cut it. Red Sox avoided a 4th straight loss. Able to pick up a win against the Rangers. That series even 1-1. But on the other side, playoff basketball, you're down 0-2, and you lose the first 2 games at home. The real Darrell. Saturday is win or get ready to go to Fiji or get ready for the summer. Yeah, that's where it's at. That's where it's at right now. DLXX. Thibs greater than Missoula. Right now, I believe that 100%. And I think you're going to hear that over the next 48 hours and leading into Saturday afternoon in Game 3 at Madison Square Garden. Fat Man, I believe that Orlando really beat these guys up bad. The Knicks had a physical series, too, against Detroit. And they played 1 extra game. The real Darrell, this is where we're going to close. The real Darrell poses the question, do you think this team wins Saturday? I want to believe that. I really do. I mean, a couple of years ago, they go down 3-0 against the Heat, right? Force a Game 7 and lose. The kind of energy that it's going to take to get back in the series, you win this series, and hey, real quick, Cleveland's down 0-2. And Cleveland, really, more injuries because their guys aren't playing. But are we really going to see Rick Carlisle and the Pacers against Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals? Right now, that is very much up on the table. The real Darrell, I'm going to go to bed thinking they're going to win Game 3. But, man, it's going to take a whole lot to get back in this series. The Knicks, right now, they're playing at a higher level. They really are. And if you didn't get the whistle in the first 2 games at home, usually you get the whistle in the playoffs. At home. We'll see. We'll see. But the Knicks have been gearing up for this. They've had it on the calendar. Once the Celtics were 2 and they were 3, let's get to the second round and roll the dice. They've rolled the dice and they've come up big time in the first 2 games of this series. Regroup. We'll see. There's a lot to figure out here leading into Saturday in Game 3. I mean, you're really looking at right now, you've got to get Game 3. If somehow, some way you go home for Game 5, 2-2, it's going to take huge effort on the road in New York. Huge effort. Hey, Locked On Sports Boston, number 1 place to hang out immediately after every Celtics playoff game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Celtics in the 25 playoffs every day.